The year is 1976. 8 years since the Minions' actions in London attracted the attention of a young wannabe villain named Gru. In that time frame, Gru has managed to build a fully functional supervillain lair and pull off several pranks and attention-getters that have attracted the obvious attention of the super team, the Vicious Six, who have a convenient opening after accidentally betraying their founder, Wild Knuckles. However, the group soon realizes they asked an actual child to audition and just winds up mocking him. So in retaliation, Gru winds up swiping the villain team's newly prized possession, the Zodiac Stone, whose power they hope to harness on the Chinese New Year to take over the world. However, Gru's attempts at using the Zodiac Stone as leverage to gain membership to the Vicious Six are thwarted by none other than his chief mechanic minion, Otto, who has for some reason exchanged it for a pet rock. Gru fires the minions and sets off on his own to locate the stone. However, he's then soon abducted by a still quite alive Wild Knuckles. In turn, minions Kevin, Stewart, and Bob take off after Gru to try to rescue him, while Otto sets off on a cross-country journey to try to locate the stone. All the while, the Vicious Six are still out looking for the stone themselves, and has everyone got all this? This is Minions, The Rise of Gru. There's way too much going on in this movie, if you can't tell from that summary. You know, I know a lot of people didn't like the first Minions movie. I kind of tolerated it, but at least that had a simple, straightforward plot throughout most of it. I mean, it was the Minions wanting to find a new master to do villainy. That's really all you got. And, you know, their wacky shenanigans ensued in doing so. This case, you know, they don't even follow the continuity from the first movie particularly well. I mean, it's 1976. Gru doesn't appear to have aged a day since he found the Minions in London. Also, but then he says, oh no, you answered my help wanted. No, he found the Minions in London. I just watched the first movie. It happened at the end of the first movie. Exactly. And that all happened in 1968. And it's 1976, so yeah, you're starting to see the problems here. Not to mention the music is all misaligned. At one point, the Minions sing Funky Town, a song that came out in 1980. Guys, like, just do a little bit of research. Like I said, this thing is all over the dang map, because we're following Gru's plot. Bleh. We have the Vicious Six's plot, we have Wild Knuckles' plot, and we have the Minions' plot. And, like, they're all part of the same plot, but they have almost nothing to do with each other. Like, eventually, the way this goes down is, you know, Wild Knuckles has hired some henchmen who he hasn't paid, so they eventually walk out on him, so he basically winds up taking Gru on as an apprentice. As this is happening, the Minions encountered the henchmen, get into a fight where they're rescued by this woman in Chinatown who knows Kung Fu. There's also an acupuncture therapist, and she decides to train them in Kung Fu so that they can learn to fight for themselves. In particular, it's Stewart, Kevin, and Bob. Otto is off on his cross-country journey, and the other Minions are back at Gru's house trying to make do with him not being there and helping his mom out to almost no effect. You're seeing the problem here. Again, like, there's just way too much going on to try to keep track of. And it's like, you could have just simplified this way down a lot more. One, Wild Knuckles should appear to die at the beginning of the movie and then not appear until closer to the climax where he comes to help Gru. Have the Vicious Six kidnap him, and thus then we get the Minions split. That makes way more sense, doesn't it? Like, again, the first movie, while not the best, had a simple plot. This does not. This is way too complicated, and again, for a movie called Minions, there's a surprising lack of the Minions. And again, it's really not about the Vicious Six either, as the trailers would indicate. It's mostly about Wild Knuckles and Gru. I mean, that's a fine story if that's what you want to tell, but then don't call this Minions The Rise of Gru, just call it The Rise of Gru. Or Despicable Me The Rise of Gru. Those make way more sense than to call it Minions 2. Like, just... And here's the thing, the movie itself is actually not that bad as much as I'm complaining. It's just, you know, there are some funny moments. Again, without spoiling too much, there's a scene where you have a Minion choir singing You Can't Always Get What You Want in the Minion language. You know, again, you get a lot of the Minion language parts in here. There's a nice scene-stealing term from, I believe it's Russell Brand as a guy who eventually becomes Gru's chief scientist. He's like, you know, he operates the record store front for the Vicious Six. And, you know, he invents this little, like, grabby, sticky finger, frog tongue-like toy, the thing that Gru can use to swipe the stone when it happens. And, you know, like I said, you get a little bit of, you get some decent insight into Gru's mentality. Like, he says, I want to be a supervillain. Everyone, all of his kids in his school laugh at him, but he goes around pulling his pranks. He unleashes a massive stink bomb during a screening of Jaws so he and the minions can watch it in peace. And then after that, you know, he, like I say, he pulls a few other pranks around town. So you get like a little bit of that, but then you don't get enough of that. You get the idea that he worships the Vicious Six as heroes. And if you're wondering why I haven't gotten into calling the Vicious Six by any of their names, because I can't really remember all of them. The main one is the leader, Bell Bottom, yeah. Sorry. See what I mean? The Bell Bottom, who is the one who deposed Wild Knuckles. There's Danny Trejo's character, Stronghold. There's Jean-Claude, and then there's the hockey one, Sven something, I cannot remember exactly. See, and of those, the only one that really gets any representation is Bell Bottom, and it's Taraji P. Henson, and she's actually fine. Like I said, voice acting performances are fine, animation's pretty good. The story itself is just way too convoluted for any possible enjoyment. I didn't hear... There were a bunch of kids there at my screening, and I really didn't hear them laugh once, except for, again, the Minions songs in their little language, and that's about it. And even then, it's like, you know, those jokes wear out pretty fast, too. Like, the Minions, you know, Kevin Stewart and Bob go to San Francisco, and the way they do so is to pretend to be pilots so they can fly the plane. And, of course, since none of them know how to fly a plane, you know, hilarity ensues there. But then, you know, that's kind of it. Like, you saw way more of that in the first movie. And again, this thing is called Minions. That's really what you should be focusing on. Like, the second Gru, you know, gets kidnapped, that should just be the Minions following. Exactly. And we don't really get any of that. We just get... It should have been all the Minions and breaking up into teams or something. And, you know, maybe get some bits with Kevin Stewart and Bob trying to learn the Kung Fu on their own. But, you know, have all of them and not just Otto going on this cross-country journey. And even that, like, there's some good points during that, but there's just not enough there for its own story. And, you know, I will say this again, the animation I think is really well done here, too. I haven't been entirely exposed to most of Illumination's material, but I do think this is some of the better Illumination material that I've seen. I would probably put it, you know, more in line with Sing 2 or... like I said, I haven't seen much of the else, so... I mean, I saw The Grinch, which, yeah, that animation wasn't that good. But yeah, I thought this was some of the better animation Illumination's put out, and if they can do more like it, I would like to see more, but it needs to be in a more solid story. So yeah, basically what I'm saying here is, this movie just really isn't very good. Like, even if you're a diehard Despicable Me fan, I don't think the kids are going to be into it. I don't think there's any reason to really see this at all. I'm going to give Minions: The Rise of Gru a D. It's just, I don't think there's any substance to this at all. And even in a flash, you know, in a fun, frivolous sense, it's not good at that either. So yeah, I have to go as low as a D.
At JT's Chrysler Jeep Dodge in Lexington, I'm going to give you the moon! It's deal-tastic me, and I make this the most easiest decision you ever make. From now to the end of the month, pay $0 down and nothing till January next year. Like new Jeep from $14,990. That's good price. Save $8,000 on Chrysler 300. Or new Jeep Compass or Chrysler 200 from $99 a month. That's a lot of good stuff. You're only going to get that at the JT's Chrysler Jeep Dodge in Lexington. Do what? JT'sJeep.com.
New Go-Gurt tubes have color-changing Despicable Me 2 minions. You can get color-changing tubes only with Go-Gurt and see Despicable Me 2 in theaters. Go-Gurt! Slurp till it's flat!
Okay, so I'm trying something a little different with the trailers here. Basically, I'm going to recite them all, and I'll try to touch on any factoids I can think about going in here. So, all right, you're going to see like two little segments here. Basically, I'm trying to cut down on the amount of pictures I have to import into my video editor. It's just going to help in the long run make things a lot easier to edit. Anyway, our trailer lineup included Marcel the Shell with Shoes On, Puss in Boots, The Last Witch, Last Wish. Oh, and I screwed that up already. And Disney's Strange World. Hopefully you saw that go by there. Alright, after that we had Lyle Lyle Crocodile, Power of Fury, The Legend of Hank, and Legion of Super Pets again. So, yeah, get a decent little mixture. I guess now that we've had some premieres and we don't have to worry about seeing another Rise of Gru or Lightyear trailer, because we're getting a lot of those. No Thor Love and Thunder. I mean, that's out next week. So, I guess we'll talk about our new trailers here. Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, which is the sequel to the Shrek spinoff, which, you know, I guess if you really like Puss in Boots, it's going to be fun for you. But, you know, I like Puss in Boots, but, you know, as a character in Shrek 2, I don't know if I needed a whole movie about him. And it seems, again, they're not really adhering much to continuity in that one. Lyle Lyle Crocodile is the other one, which is based on a successful book series, I believe. Never heard of it. And yeah, that's about it for like the two new trailers I guess we got there. And you know, Strange World looks fun, probably the best of them. I don't know if I'm going to get around. I know League of Super Pets is coming at the end of the month, but like I said, I don't know if I'll have it exactly the right amount of time. I don't, like I said, July is getting to be a very weird month. I don't know what I'm doing in August either, so still, I guess now with the release of Minions: The Rise of Gru, we have finally emerged from the pandemic delayed movies. So everything should be coming out at a more reasonable time and a more reasonable pace. So at least we got that going for us. Like I said, the next movie is going to be Thor: Love and Thunder. After that, it's we have a week off after that. I know that. I'm not seeing anything the 15th. And then I'm trying to think what comes out after Thor: Love and Thunder. Oh shoot. Oh, Nope. That's the last one. Nope. Yeah. So the new Jordan Peele movie. So yeah. Like I said, a lot happening, trying to keep track of everything as much as I can. Like I said, I know League of Super Pets comes out a week after Nope, but I'm not sure if I'm going to get around to see that. So, see you all next time. Hey guys, remember, you can help support my channel at patreon.com/sleepytimeforcat productions, where you can help request a movie, even if it's something like, say, Sonic the Hedgehog or the next Purge film. I'll review it.